Hello and welcome to Lois and Morgana Davidson Art. It's Lois here, and today I've got a real treat for you, this beautiful demo from Morgana of two wild swans flying into the sunset. I hope you really enjoy it. All the details will be in the description below the video.
Hello everyone and welcome to Lois and Morgana Davidson Art. It's Morgana here, and today I'll be sharing this beautiful sunset wetland scene with you, painted with a pair of beautiful swans. Before I begin painting, I wanted to quickly share my rough sketches with you. This took me around 10 to 15 minutes just to map out a couple of different ideas for compositions of a wetland scene with sunbirds. I ended up deciding that this one here, number 2, was my favourite and was the one that I'm going to be working on today. So I'll be beginning today's painting with a blank sheet of watercolour paper. I'm using a size 1/4 imperial sheet, but this painting would work on any size, so choose whatever you feel the most comfortable working on. To begin painting the sky, I added clean water to the top third of my paper and let it sit for roughly 30 seconds before adding colour. The colours I'll be using to paint the sky are raw sienna, alizarin crimson hue and some Payne's grey. To get a nice bright sun into this sunset, I'm going to use a lifting technique we call the coin trick. You can see here that I have a little selection of coins, all various sizes, and after deciding which coin is the best fit to create a sun for my composition, I will be wrapping it up in a piece of tissue or kitchen towel. You can use anything absorbent. Just make sure that you wrap it fairly tightly, pulling the tissue so that it creates that nice smooth circle, and then you simply press it into the wet paint and lift it out cleanly to form this perfect little round sun. If you like, take a little of your sky colour and with a soft damp brush pull some subtle clouds across the sun to soften down this hard-edged shape. The next step is to paint the lake. I used the exact same colours I used to create the sky, so that I could easily and simply create the reflection of this lovely sunset into the still pool of water. I mixed some alizarin crimson and Payne's grey to get this nice neutral dusty colour, which I then used to paint this thin line of distant horizon just as the sky paint was still wet, so the line softened and diffused as the painting dried. After allowing the painting to dry flat, as you can see here, I decided to add a little extra lightness into that horizon line by lifting out a line of paint. This is a handy little technique, and all you need for it is a ruler, a good flat brush and some clean paper towel or tissue. Simply take your flat brush, dip it in some clean water, dab it so that it is only a little damp, then swipe your brush along the horizon line using the ruler as a guide to lift out colour, and quickly lift away the excess water in one clean sweep with your tissue or paper towel. This of course would work a little better if I had a longer ruler, but as you can see it's created this lovely strong pale line here, and this is a really handy little lifting technique to remember if your horizon gets a bit too dark, just like mine did here. To add some detail to the midground area here, I mixed up a couple of variations of Payne's grey and alizarin crimson for these quite rich, dark, sort of dusty hues. I am trying to work with roughly the same colour palette as I used for the sky, just to try and maintain a nice colour harmony across the painting. Here I'm using my size 10 mop brush and my sword liner to create some loose, simple foliage. For the foreground, I wanted plenty of tall, statuesque reeds, rushes and grasses. I'm using my size small sword liner brush to do this, but any brush will do, provided it comes to a nice clean point. This is the point of the painting as well, where you can feel free to go a little wild and add as much detail as you like, or to only add a little bit depending on your personal preference. If you're unsure, you can always add in a small amount and then come back and add in some more later. Now it's time to add the finishing touch, this pair of lovely swans flying into the sunset together. I've sketched the outlines directly onto the painting just using HB pencil, and we'll be painting them simply using a small detail brush and some white gouache. You could always use the masking fluid technique here, and if the birds were much larger, that's what I would have done. However, with the smaller birds, it's actually a much simpler matter to paint them on afterwards using an opaque colour that will go over your sky colour, which also allows you a little more flexibility when deciding where to position them in the composition. To add a little shading, I mixed a very small amount of my Payne's Grey into the white gouache to create this slightly deeper tone. And with that finishing touch, the painting is complete. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I really enjoyed painting these swans for you all today, and I'm thrilled with how the scene turned out, and I hope you all enjoyed it too. If you would like to see some more wildlife tutorials from me, then you can follow the link below the video to sign up for my Patreon page. But for now, that is all from me today, so I wish you all a wonderful week and very happy painting.